All right, we got Sara on the podcast today. We've talked about having her on for a while. I think it didn't match up with your schedule a few times, but glad to finally have you on. You've been a full participant in kind of the whole gamut of things that we offer here. So we always love to have people on who have done, you've done our summer shred. You've worked with Kate. Have you done stuff with affiliate?
Not as much. I've gone for like acute
issues. So you've touched that. Mm-hmm. You went on a retreat. So you've kind of done all of it everywhere. You've done CrossFit, barbell as well.
Yep, Rev I do once in a while on Saturdays for partner workout.
That's a popular one. That Saturday Rev, because it hits everything. You get to be with a partner. I'm trying to. I don't want to take away from that, but I've started to do like once or twice a month, put a partner option on the CrossFit one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't want the complete sting, and maybe it's just me getting older, and like we used to always do a big hero workout every Saturday, and then, I'd get like 4 workouts in during the week, and then I'd be staring down the pipe of like, just a brutal workout, and then I'm like, I don't know if I can do this. So I made partner versions where it's about 75% as hard. You can break it up with someone.
I mean, I feel like I push harder sometimes in partner workouts.
Yeah. And they were like, I have a little bit of rest, so I can really go for it.
And you're doing it like kind of almost like for the team, and
can't let your partner down.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, I have to do it. I have to do it with Kate usually, so it's she doesn't give me any. There's no cruise control resting, where you bury your partner. She's always doing that to me, like, there's 10 reps, go.
I'll like not have even moved yet, and he'll be like, calm down. He can just feel my energy. Like, gosh, shit. Yeah.
The worst is like her running speed stays exactly the same. Like it could be like right out the door on the first one, where usually I have a little more speed like off the jump than she does. But her, she could do 20 squat cleans and 50 burpees in the gym, and then her running speed is exactly the same out the door, and I've lost 45%, and I'm like, I can't do it.
It's funny. Ashley Thomas and I are normally some sort of hot for the holidays partners, and we've gotten to the point where like when you're a partner, you just look at the other person, you're like, all right, like I know you have 1 rep left, and then I need to go. Like, you don't even need to say anything, and you're off to the next thing. So yeah, no, it's always fun to have a partner.
We have a pretty good idea of like where to pick each other up at, and who like we communicate pretty well now at this point.
I know she always helps me when it's like the box jumps. I'm like, oh God, I'm not good at that many box jumps. But we got Ashley, and she's like, all right, Sarah, calories on the bike.
Yep.
And I'm like,
okay, it's your turn. Go.
Yeah, so speaking of the bike, like we just did a bike workout. I was in class with you. I hadn't been in class with you for a while, and then I just remember like, we had a men's and a women's calories, and I'd see her get off, and I definitely hadn't crossed the women's threshold like of the calories. She was just so far ahead of everything. And so are you still like doing biking on the weekends at all?
For a few years I was on an all women's cycling team, so a road cycling team, out of Paradise Garage in the Short North. It's called the Lady Gnar Shredders.
Okay.
If any girl has any interest in looking into cycling, it's a great group of women.
Cool.
But I did that for about 3 years, a little bit of competing, but mostly just enjoying a lot of miles on the road.
Yep.
So I think that definitely has my, you can set a pretty high level of watt output and just keep it rolling.
Yeah.
Why did you get out of that?
It was kind of just a time consuming thing. Like, we would go on 75-mile rides on the weekend, and then like your weekend is just completely devoted to cycling, which is great. I mean, it's super great. And I mean, I still have my bikes and everything. So
you got into, is that about the time you got back into like horse riding too?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I also competitively ride like hunter jumper horses. So
that's a lot of hobbies. Yeah. CrossFit, cycling.
She's a very competitive person.
Keep busy.
So do you own a horse?
I don't right
Okay.
now. I lease a horse,
Okay.
so it's kind of a good if you don't financially want to have the entire horse burden. But I ride him like 4 days a week.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, it's cool.
I grew up. My mom had
your mom
horses,
has a horse,
and
yeah.
and she has one now. So I'm sort of familiar with how it works. I'd go to the horse barns with her and stuff growing up, and that was my first job was cleaning horse stalls. I did that from.
I still don't believe that. I'd like to see footage.
I'm telling you, I did it from like 11 to 18 years old.
Does anyone have a video of you doing
schlepping some
Or shit.
It wasn't, I had to do it on the weekends, and it's hard. I wasn't that good at working with the horses. Like, they sensed a little fear, so they'd jump around on me, and like, cause I'd have to walk them out of their stalls, and like,
Yeah, no, they can tell. They're very sensitive creatures.
yeah, so they could tell I was like a little jumpy, and I got my foot stepped on a couple times.
Which sucks
and
because I fell off a horse when I was young and broke my arm. So then as an adult, I wanted to get back on, but the horse could tell I was freaked out, so it kept trying to knock me off. Like, they can
tell.
Through on this little path and kept trying to like get me off.
Take advantage.
Yeah, like, well, shit. I mean, you're really just
You
screwed.
just got to get into your zen and be like, all right, horse and I are friends now.
Yeah, they can tell if you're calm around them for sure.
So which is more dangerous, horseback riding or biking, would you say? Because you said part of the reason why you got out of biking, it started to make you a little nervous.
No, it has. Just riding on the road has recently become an extreme situation. I've had some personal accounts and whatnot.
Do you think that's more like the texting now? Do you think
I think
that's
people
why?
just don't pay attention on the road. People have some sort of vendetta against cyclists too. I think people just don't like to see cyclists on the road. So then that kind of just also involves into, we would do some gravel riding, so different bike, but then you have to, drive further out to go to where you're going to bike. So now you're putting 45 minutes on each side of your ride. But gravel riding is great because then, you're not getting hit by cars.
Yeah.
You might just fall off the side of small.
But you've had some recent injuries. I was just going to say you don't tend to get injured really with CrossFit, but the horse.
Yeah, I fell off for the first time in like years, like 2 weeks ago, and my hand's a little bit like messed up, but it's okay. It's all good.
Yeah.
So did you just post your hand like as you're falling off?
I like kind of fell. So it's cool for riding. We have these air vests now. So if you get ejected off of your horse, you're kind of like a motorcycle style. Your vest actually inflates, so that way you're landing.
Oh, like an airbag that's on you.
Yes, a personal airbag vest.
Heck yeah.
That was definitely
How does that expand on its own? Like what?
Yeah, it
what
has a
sense
CO2 cartridge in the vest, and then you like a little bungee that
So you have
attached to your
you have
saddle.
to pull it, or you have to
No,
hit
but
it?
just the fact that you're being flying off the horse.
So then it pulls.
Yes,
Okay,
it pulls,
okay,
and then
gotcha.
your vest inflates as you are.
Some
flying
sort of
through the air.
mechanism inside of it understands
Yeah, it's like a
that
pin
you've
that's just like under pressure. It pops.
That's really
probably like
neat.
how like your phones now can recognize that
Right.
you're
Like it's an expensive piece of equipment, but
Right.
going to the doctor for a broken
back
situation
or
is
ribs.
way more expensive. I always like my goal as an adult, I'm like, is not to meet that deductible.
Yeah. That's awesome though.
slight
I didn't
high
know
risk.
that existed. That's really cool.
Yeah, it's a very, very innovative piece of equipment.
Very cool.
But as far as getting injured, recently I feel for CrossFit, just because I've been so consistent, I will say coming in 5-6 days a week I looked back to see when I started here. And so it's like end of 2018.
18, yep.
But before I had been in another gym in Columbus, but then,
How long were you there?
probably I moved back to Columbus in 14. So probably about 3 years at the other gym. And then I moved here.
And did you started CrossFit there?
I started CrossFit there.
How did you get into CrossFit?
My good friend from college was doing CrossFit, and I'm like, if Leslie can do it, I can do it. So I had never picked up a barbell or a dumbbell or anything like that. I ran cross country and track in high school, and did it, every 4 seasons, like 8 seasons total, all 4 years. Wasn't a great runner. I mean, consistently not great, but consistent. And then got kind of away from a lot of organized athletics in college, I did ride on, Ohio State has a club equestrian team. So I rode club for Ohio State, which was awesome. Met a lot of people. Still was able to do the horse thing for not as expensive as owning your own horse. So it was a great opportunity there. And then, like I said, never really went to the gym all that much. I was a lifeguard at Ohio State too, so swimming, but keeping active. I would walk to class.
Yeah, you seem like someone that was always active though. Would you run a little bit in college too?
Yeah, but like nothing, once a while on the treadmill or the elliptical at the RPAC. But yeah, swimming and going to riding and walking. I was an animal science undergrad, so all my classes were on West Campus, and like I'd be like, ugh, I can't take the bus. Like, I'll just walk. And people are like, you're crazy. But I'm like, it's fine. Get some outdoor fresh air.
What did you originally want to do?
I wanted to be a veterinarian, but organic chemistry didn't.
It's so hard.
It's the weed out class. And
I took mine at Columbus State, and I like latched onto this older woman. I would like bake her things every week. I'm like, can we study together? And she's like, I'm like, good. Tuesday. Okay.
You did that organic chem?
I did it at Columbus.
Exercises?
Yeah, I had to. Yeah. Which I was just
so you got it knocked out at like a different school.
I knew myself. I'm like, you're gonna fail unless you take it at this. But then it's pretty much online, and I was not gonna pass unless I like leached onto someone and had them like bring me along.
Yeah, no,
it's so hard.
It was so hard. And I'm like, I feel like I'm pretty smart, but like, I did not get OChem. Because even like vet school is more competitive to get into than med school because they're way less than them. But yeah, so started pre-vet, switched my junior year, kept all my like life science core work. So of course, my Physics 2 and Calc 2 became my like elective classes, like great. And then picked up public health for a minor, which then really spurred my interest with public health. And so I ended up going to Tulane in New Orleans for grad school to get my master's in public health. And from there, my practicum experience was the Peace Corps. So I was actually a Peace Corps volunteer in the Gambia, which is in West Africa, for like 27 months.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was like 2012 to 2014.
I didn't know that's why you did that.
Yeah,
Okay,
no,
cool.
so it was like part of grad school. So came back and graduated. But yeah, Peace Corps I highly recommend that for
How was your workout routine there?
Just
surviving.
I mean, it was really hot. Like I had a thermometer in my backyard, mud hut, thatched roof, no running water, no electricity, and like 132 degrees on the thermometer.
Oh.
I remember stories of you talking about how you would try to sleep at night.
Yeah, that was where I was about to go with that.
So how did you?
So I would get I would always take no running water, so it was like a bucket bath. Take a bath like right before you go to bed, and then I would always have during the day, like in a shady spot in my hut, another bucket of water. And so literally in the middle of the night when you just like couldn't sleep, I would just take the bucket of like cool water because it was in the shade all day and just dump it over your body.
Smart.
So you'd be wet trying to like sleep.
Right, but I mean at least you're like
coolish.
Yeah. Yeah, the water feels
Because
cool.
what would the temperature at night be? What, like 90 or something?
Yeah, I mean it
85?
would still like
just too hot to really sleep.
Right.
Well,
and especially that like rainy season where then it's like super muggy and super hot.
Not like Andrew Huberman, like 64 degrees.
Yeah,
like
no. I wish. Cooling mattress, no.
Gosh. Well, I'm sure you adapt at some point a little bit to where like, okay, I'm really tired and your body just starts to like, well, we're going to shut down, sort of.
Yeah. I think that you just like block those days out. I'm like, oh, it wasn't so bad looking back. And you're like, oh, some days were kind of bad. But,
sure.
But yeah, it was definitely an eye-opening experience. I was a health volunteer there. So doing a lot of work with water and sanitation in schools. I did a really big grant through USAID to implement a vegetable garden for my village because they were very food insecure. So that was something that obviously I had never like directly dealt with. Because, here you definitely have people who are in poverty, but sometimes it's more of like a relative poverty sort of situation. But then in developing countries, it's that like
they really
right,
need food.
Right, that absolute
poverty.
Yeah. So yeah.
Wow.
Came back, and now I have actually been with the Ohio Department of Medicaid in policy for the past 11 years. So
You recently just got a promotion.
I did.
Right?
I recently got a new promotion. So I am the section chief for behavioral health policy. And so really just working domestically for those who, those less fortunate and, those people who really, really need their services, ensure that they get what they need.
Very cool. Well, congrats on that.
Thanks. But I think that just kind of like rolls into the whole, health. So public health of your entire population, and then, what you can do as an individual to ensure that your own health is as good as it can be. So your physical health, your mental health, and, if you have a population of strong, healthy people, obviously, you're going to be better off as a community. Yeah. So I think that's one thing that really drew me to CrossFit in general, is just those like-minded people who are, we're all here together. We're all suffering through some version of the workout all together at the same time. Everyone knows that, like, all right, like this part of the workout in particular, like, really sucks maybe. And you look at someone else and you see them grinding through it just like you are. So I think that's what really like drew me to CrossFit.
Very cool.
Yeah, I felt the same way. And just to know, like, hey, they're suffering, you can suffer too. Like, let's do it together and we'll like laugh about it.
Mm-hmm.
But exactly. I think anyone who joins a gym like this, like they're doing it, they're putting their health and physical well-being like as a higher end priority, because it's not a low cost gym. Like if you get a lower cost gym member, like, yeah, maybe I'll go everyone. It's good to know that I have that, but it's not like this thing's staring you in the face a little bit more. Like, this is like up there on my bills. Mm-hmm. Like I need to go. I should be attending this like regularly.
I do laugh. I'm like, oh, my cost per class is very low. Like,
yes, if you go a lot, it's actually a very worth it thing if you're going frequently. Like your cost per class analysis, like, oh, that's under $10 a class or whatever it is, or I've got it down to $6, if you're going like Rex or something,
Yeah. Well, I think it kind of, we talk about this a lot now. I feel like in general, as like a population, people are a little less risk adverse now. So it kind of makes sense, like where they don't want that high energy output for fitness or like high ticket. People are just like afraid to take risks. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I feel like it's kind of like the climate. Like we've been talking about that a lot lately. And I think fitness, I've seen it go through so many trends where, bodybuilding was really big. And then it kind of like, it was like, okay, well, this was too much. It kind of screwed everybody up. And then it's like, let's get into more like running became big, kind of back in like the early 2000s. And, then now I think we're seeing that with CrossFit. Everyone got like so into it and then beat up a lot of people, beat up their bodies. It was a little intense. So now like the softer fitness, like Pilates, is kind of becoming more popular now, which I think it has its place. But then I think it's just almost like it's just like the climate with dating or anything. You're afraid to take a risk. Like, I don't want to go in there, lay myself all the way out and be like vulnerable, So if you really just try your hardest, then you're vulnerable in front of everyone. Where if you go in and kind of hide in the middle of a Pilates class, like no one knows. And I'm not bagging on Pilates. I just think it's become kind of like more of like a cultural thing where people don't want to take risk, whether it's on friendships or relationships.
If you're not taking risks, you're not growing. And if you're not growing,
Correct.
So that's always my thing. Like, okay, like this might be a little scary either physically or mentally or something like that, but I at least feel like I'm gaining something from what I'm doing rather than just maintaining.
Yeah. I'd say you go after the big ticket. You have a trip coming up, don't you?
Yeah, hopefully we'll be flying out on Tuesday.
Okay, so back to your trip.
Yep.
Yeah, so Rick and I have a trip coming up hopefully on Tuesday. We're supposed to fly out to California, in LA, just doing some sightseeing. I haven't been there before. But then we're going to Palm Springs and doing a hike called Cactus to Cloud.
I was like, Sarah, you should do like a little hiking trip, have something to look forward to. So I think maybe she's going to do like a 13-mile hike one day.
Send him in a car a couple days early if that idea doesn't come. Well,
while I go. Yeah. This is supposed to, I've done a fair amount of hiking, but this one is going to be, I think it's going to test many parts of my physical and mental self. Like I said, it's called Cactus to Cloud, and it is one of the top 5 hardest day hikes in the country. And you start at, in the desert, Palm Springs, so Cactus, and then it goes up to Alpine. I looked up, it's like 10,300 feet of vertical gain.
I think you end up at like 12,000 something, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's a little bit, I think it's like 24-ish miles, I think was.
In a day.
So we're going to start at like 2 a.m., I
Dave's
think.
a big hiker.
Dave
I saw his eyes.
It's going to take a while.
Yeah.
Light up like, whoa.
Start at 2 a.m., have your headlamp and, you light up everything. There's no palatable water on the entire trip. So you're going to be carrying your water, but it's one day. So, enough fuel to get you through the day. I think it's like maybe like 4 miles away from the summit, there is a gondola. So people can take the tram up and down. You don't have to hike it. But so you can like stop there, do whatever you need to do. And then the last 4 miles. But then the great thing is even with the gondola, so you go all the way up and then you have 4 miles down, and then you can take the gondola the rest of the way back down. But even with that, it's still, they said it's over 20 miles. And they said to do the whole, like, they really don't recommend going all the way down on, yourself hiking. They really, it's like, please, just
what would it be if you did that?
I don't know, 40-ish. Wow. So,
yeah,
I mean,
it's
yeah.
And 20 just to get up.
And you're not allowed to camp on. So, like, that's a thing.
Okay.
So they're like, that's impossible to do in a day.
What's your goal to fit? Like, what time to finish would be a goal?
I definitely want to do like under 12 hours for sure is my goal.
Okay. So how many miles per hour is that?
No, I haven't done the math. It'll be fine.
That's just moving.
Yeah.
Very intently. Yeah.
24 divided by, well, yeah.
She's that. I feel like that type of a thing does fit your skill set well though. Like you've got a really good, hard, steady grinding. Like you're really good at workouts like that, at runs like that.
Yeah, Rick, my boyfriend, is like a really good hiker, and he's kind of like one of those mountain goat type people where he's going to be like bouncing up the like scraggly rocks. So I'm going to be like, okay, I might need to take a little second here to not like twist my ankle, because I always laugh. I'm like, ball sports and hand-eye coordination are not my thing. So that's why like CrossFit, good, horseback riding, good, running, semi-good, swimming, no balls. So the hand-eye coordination is
it just freaks me out, like that going fast down.
Yeah.
No, and I'm like always twisting my ankle, or whether I'm running or hiking
than descending. Even on the bike, like some people can just like dive bomb those downs, and I'm like, I'm gonna be riding my brake a little bit.
Yeah, that's really neat though. So will you guys? When will you do the hike? When do you land? And how many days do you spend there? And then when do you start the hike?
Yeah, we get in on Tuesday. Like I said, a few days in LA, drive to Palm Springs, and then Friday is the day we're going to do the hike. And then we have until Tuesday to hang out. We're going to go to Joshua Tree, do a little hiking and like a camping thing there too, and then come back.
Really neat.
Yeah,
I love the sound of that trip. We're gonna do a hiking trip with them the next fall, and I said,
"Oh yeah." I remember you were telling me.
Right,
that
everyone can be invited.
Yeah, Rick might have to work on his pacing for us because I'm not super speedy, but I'll be consistent.
So I'll tell a quick story that shouldn't go too long. Is we did Pikes Peak, I don't know, about 3 or 4 years ago, and it was with Kate and then Cassie, who is one of the best triathletes on the planet. She's running, like, once we got there, we do a workout every day, and then she'd go on an extra like 10K run at a 6.5 minute pace or something, just to not feel like she was not getting it in. Anyway, so we do this, and I had just been doing power. I was in this phase. I just had been doing power hour for about 2 months beforehand, and no cardio, just power hour classes.
I told you needed to train.
for
I know, and I did not at all. And So Mike came and he was, he did some like photos and stuff, and he was smart, and I actually planned it for him. He was doing every day weight vest, like incline walks for like an hour.
And that's
Like-
probably what I should have been doing, or like weighted step ups or something.
Yeah.
Like
You'll
that.
be okay
but-
though. You'll be. You just have like such good endurance,
you'll be-
and even like
you'll
your
do well.
horseback riding. Like you do that for a couple hours. I mean, you don't think about it maybe like correlating, but it will. You'll be fine.
I think we got about 90 minutes into it, and I was like trying to be tough, and I started to think I was about to have a panic attack. Like, I'm like, because they were just like march running up this mountain, and I'm like.
You guys did the steps, right? Those Manitou steps.
No,
you
we
didn't?
were trying to find that entrance and we couldn't find it. We did the switchbacks. I was so bummed because I love the steps. I want to go back there and do the
that's a
steps
fun-
and then finish
yeah.
it out.
I went with Emily from and she and I we did it. And it was great.
It's really cool. It's like one of my favorite hikes.
I kind of settled in though after a while, where it was like everyone started to get tired, and I was like the same tired after about 4 or 5 hours.
Do you guys start at 2 a.m. to make sure when you're at the peak, it's
And
before the early afternoon, right?
to make sure you can get the tram down. But then also if you start too late, it gets super hot because Palm Springs is in the desert.
Yeah.
It's like right now, I mean, the highs there are still in the upper 80s. So like you want to start early so that way, you're not starting at super hot temperatures.
Is lightning and like thunderstorms a thing at the top of the peak of this mountain? Because that was a big issue with us. Brandon did not want to start as early as we did. And he's like, this is silly. It's not even a thing. And they were like literally 20 minutes after we got to the peak, they were sending people back down because it was starting to like lightning and like thunderstorm at the peak. But I don't know if it's more specific to that area.
Yeah, I haven't heard that. I know there's a slight chance that there might be like a tiny bit of snow because we are kind of hitting it right at the end of the season.
Which is probably like the perfect time though. So it's not so hot. Yeah.
So have you done anything specifically to kind of like train and get ready for it?
No, just
doing your
continuing
regular stuff. Yeah.
My normal.
And I think you'll be fine, but sometimes it's like you want to put some more eggs in that basket of training when you're getting ready for something like that. But I think that suits your
plenty of food, plenty of water. Take breaks when you need.
Right, exactly.
Fine, right? Just
It'll be
walking.
fine.
You guys.
Exactly. That's why I said I'm like just walking with a bit of elevation.
So you're just wrapping up with Kate though too. Like you've been on a really good run. Like you look great. Like you've been working out really well, and like you just like you look very good. Like you're in great shape right now.
Yeah,
so.
and that was like part of our goal.
Yep.
Just trying to make sure that I don't need to be hoofing an extra 15 pounds up the mountain.
Yeah.
So definitely has been good.
Will you guys try to sleep the night before?
That was the one thing I'm like, probably, because I do like my sleep. So I'm like, I'll probably still go to bed relatively early and, still get 5 hours or something. Rick might have a harder time with that.
Yeah.
What time do you start it at?
But like 2
2.
a.m.
Okay.
So you'll wake up at what, 1?
Ish, probably, maybe.
1:30.
No, and our hotel is very close
Yeah.
to the trailhead. So
Okay.
I think we might even just like
Walk to the trailhead. Yeah.
Yeah.
Instead of
put
park.
an extra mile on that.
Yep.
It's all good.
Yeah. Well, how are the passes right now? Like if you're hiking, like did you have to get a pass for that park?
No, this one. we don't.
Okay. Because I know that's been
That's
thing.
been an issue. I know with like a lot of the national parks and everything. Which actually I do need to look at Joshua Tree because we are going there. I don't know about that.
Yeah. Why is that? Why do we need more passes now? Do you guys know?
I think it's just with like the federal workers and the amount of dollars that are available to be spent for our national parks.
Okay. So it's just like the amount of people you have to have so many like guides
Safety
out there for
issues.
It just may just limit the amount of people on a trail at once, so it's just not like a free for all on there.
You
Especially
don't have to
places,
keep
especially
sending
places where
helicopters
it's like a very
in.
small trail, like Angel's Landing in Zion. Like there's only so many people who can fit in such an area. And
Okay.
It's very popular,
Yeah.
so you can still get them. You just have to plan in advance.
I remember feeling like that when we were hiking in Arizona. Like they should allow less people on the trail. Is that Camel's Back? Have you done
I've
that?
heard about it. I haven't
Yeah. It was scary to me. I mean, they have like little ropes there, and you're
yeah.
kind of like climbing on rocks, and there's people all around. And I feel like every time I'd go up this thing, there would be a helicopter. I'm like, I don't know who's getting picked. I don't even want to look.
Oh, the
I
helicopters
know.
are just constantly on it, but
Yeah.
it lets you know like right when you're on it, like because
Take
it
it
gets really
seriously.
hot there.
Yeah.
That they just pluck idiots off. Who
Right, you
are-
got to prepare. Like people
Yeah.
don't realize
crazy.
dehydration
I know.
and sweating is a thing. And
Yeah.
you gotta
Stuff
you gotta-
happens, but it's just amazing the amount of like just people don't do the basics.
Right, you got to
Or
plan.
just the most obvious things. You're like,
Well, and camelback isn't that long of one, and people like will really underscore the challenge. So people who are like really out of shape will do it, and there's really tough spots on it, and it gets very hot, and it's still like 4 hours or something of like hardcore hiking where some of it is almost like semi climbing. And if you're not in great shape and I've done it hungover bad a
I think
couple
that's the
times.
only way I've done it.
Yeah, it's not smart
not
at all.
smart.
It's really dumb.
Every time I'm like, I forget.
Go
how
out in
hard
like
this is.
Scottsdale, and then like the next day, like, oh, let's go on a
We're
hike
in a
and,
desert.
and sweat this off. And I'm like, oh god,
Right, should have dumped some liquid IV into that.
Yeah.
Camelback.
yeah,
That-
like this is a bad idea.
That's one thing with Pikes Peak. I'm like, we cannot drink until
Yeah.
after we do this. This is long enough. Like if something goes wrong, it's not a 3 hour like just kind of get through it. It's
We had I've probably even talked about it on the podcast. We had this. It was probably the most picturesque, cool view I've ever seen in Colorado, in the coolest bar that had no less than like 200 draft handles, and like everyone has these giant frosty beers, and it was the day before, and like we're all like people are eating and getting burgers, and I was like, Kate's like, you cannot drink, and we had like this.
I can.
We had this big argument, and I'm like, fine, and I just get I got a glass of water, and then we're at 4:00 in the morning hiking up the mountain. Again, about an hour and a half into it, I hit like a bit of a wall because they're running up the mountain, and I'm like, thank God I didn't have that beer.
Well,
That would have been a bad
It was
idea.
the start time, and then it was the beer that I think made you mad. But then both you were glad.
I was super
when
glad.
they were setting people down.
Oh yeah, yeah. It was like because we kept we did that whole thing in under 7 hours. Like we were
Yeah,
clipping.
that's
it.
Cassie
tough,
did it in
right?
like 6.
Yeah, she
Guys,
went
it's not a
up and
race,
came
it's
down.
just about
and-
enjoying nature.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's
Funny
funny is
come
that-
back for you.
Yeah.
She did. I think she did.
I
She
was
just,
so
like,
focused on the boys drinking water because guys are like notoriously bad at drinking water that I didn't like focus on Lexi at all. She barely drank any of her water because she said it tasted funny. She was like white as a ghost at the top. But I thought, well, she'll have enough common sense. Like I don't need to worry about her. And I like held on to her pack. I'm like, you've drank like 3 ounces, like nothing.
Yeah, no, you gotta make sure you're getting your liquids in.
So do you have a plan for like hydration, food, all of that? How are you guys going to do that? Just kind of listen to your body or?
Yeah, just listen to your body. And Rick is a really good cyclist, so really good
He's
endurance
used to it.
athlete.
Yeah.
So
knows how to fuel and all
Yeah,
that during
exactly.
endurance stuff.
make sure we have a good breakfast, and yeah, it'll be fun.
Will you just take like real food, or will you have like the chews or?
Probably a combination of everything. I think we're gonna do some normal like peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. Make sure you have. I think we're gonna do at least 4, maybe 6 liters of water per person. I know I have like the largest Camelback, and then plus Nalgene or 2, protein bars, probably
Trail
apple trail mix, normal stuff.
I used to think my dad was
packets
just
are good if you want some protein. If you're gonna be going like just like not the cans.
Yeah.
But the packets are really easy.
Yeah.
Maybe just some like
and they're light.
yeah,
Yeah.
they're light. And you don't have to
Right.
just strain them out with water
a
and like
bunch
little
of-
tortillas. If you just make a little sandwich, we did that a lot.
Because you guys went out for how many
Right, because
days?
you did the Appalachian, right, or part of it.
The Smokies. But yeah, it was like 4 days.
Yeah.
You've been doing that the last few years, right? Last
Try to-
3
yeah,
years
try
or
to
so.
Pick a place
Really
to go.
cool.
Yep.
Yeah, the one thing is great about day hikes is you don't have to then like carry your tent and carry
Yeah.
all that other stuff. And
Yeah.
I mean, some of that gets expensive too when you're like looking at like hyper light equipment. You're like,
Yeah.
oh shucks, I'm gonna.
That's why we
drop-
just did it with a guide. It was,
Oh,
it was fun. And
yeah.
but I mean, it's good to have the experience of like kind of camping overnight at a place, but it's a different experience. It's nice to do like even a challenging day hike, you can come back to a hotel or just grab dinner
Yeah.
at night. That's a nice vacation. I mean, it's just a different experience if you just want to go out and like rough it for 4 or 5 days or longer.
What did
they're
he
two
help
different
you
things.
with? Like finding a place to like
he
actually set up
he
camp
walked with
or-
us, but basically, there's areas where there's like shelters and things like that.
Yeah.
But there's specific spots in the park where you
Like
you can only
designated,
designated
yeah.
camp. You can't camp anywhere because you have to like basically have these pulley systems to put your bag and your food above
Yeah,
there,
for
or else the bears
bears.
are coming,
Yeah.
animals will come. So it's
I
like,
used to hike with my dad, and I remember him doing that.
Hanging
The
food.
overnight. Yeah.
there's some areas where you can set up tents and sleep on the ground, and there's other areas where there's like, open air shelters, but there's designated area. You can't just sleep anywhere you want. I mean, you can, but I wouldn't recommend it probably.
Especially in the Smoky Mountain, there's so many bears.
We literally
So
saw
many
one
bears.
from the car. That's all we saw. I mean, usually they don't want anything to do with you, but he said like of all the national parks in the country, he has the most brown bears there, or black bears.
There's anytime I've
2,000
been,
something,
I mean, to just in that area, like
I saw
see
some prints and some
tons of
scat and
bears.
stuff like that, but we actually didn't see them. Like,
All right,
so
well,
they're-
maybe
they're-
instead of our next gym trip, instead of it being a beach, it'll be
a big hiking
a
trip.
hiking
yeah.
trip.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I'm
I could
excited
do
for that.
Some spiritual hiking
Yeah.
experiences.
We could definitely do that. Yeah.
I-
We have a lot of people who've been doing that more and more too. I think it fits well with
You find a place that's got like a cool town that's near the trail. You could have some, fun social things.
go out to dinner and hang out a
some
little
do
bit.
some cool day hikes.
Yeah.
All right,
Cool.
let's maybe think about that on our next CrossFit Grandview
I can be
retreat.
in charge
It's
of the
easier to do.
spiritual stuff. I'll find all the
Make
all
us
the
do
ceremonies.
yoga in the morning before we start
Tesmacow.
walking.
overnight Tesmacow, and then we'll go straight into the hike.
We were talking about those psychedelic churches, the mushroom churches.
We're going to do this hike on mushrooms now.
Oh,
Actually,
man.
I'm doing
I
peyote.
totally- yeah,
I
I
will
don't-
be, passing you all. You guys can just do the mushrooms. I'll be
She'll be
flying.
flying.
Yeah, I'll be flying high. Yeah. Okay, so after this hike, then what are some of your fitness goals?
I always do the open, so definitely looking forward to that for next year. And then just really keeping consistent everything that we picked up from doing the body business past time, just really focusing on maintaining and maybe even losing a little bit more from where I am right now. And then I was looking, maybe the pump and run could be a fun one because that's
You'd be
always
able to do that in the open. I always felt like it was maybe a little too much, but I feel like your body.
She's
to do
good
both.
with
yeah,
that.
Yeah.
She'd be good to go with that.
Yeah.
We did both a few years and it was a lot, but I think as much you do good with a lot of volume and work, and I don't think that
can
would
handle a lot.
Yeah.
Which is, your strong suit and what you hate too.
Yep.
It's always like, I get all this work. I'm just keep picking up everybody's work at work. Well, and then you get a promotion. So
Do that. We could
there
do
you
a
go.
pump- We could do a pump and run here.
I know.
That's true. That could
We
be
should
fun.
do that because you know what? Then we wouldn't have to wait 4 hours to then run.
I'm sure the money goes to a good cause, and it's cool to do that at the convention center.
we'll
parking
make
lot,
it
but
for a good
is-
cause.
It's a long
That's true.
thing
We
We
because
could
you.
donate it.
Yeah.
I think you do your lift, and there's a lot
if
of
you
waiting
build it.
around.
3 or 4 hours. Yeah.
If you help us organize
Yeah,
it,
we could
that'd be
that
really
would be
cool.
really
we could definitely do our own version here, and you could
That would
and
be
it would be
fun.
just every bit as legit. I mean, the volunteers and the people
Yeah.
running that, it's not like
Yeah,
there's
it's not hard.
no, it's like someone who's just like, oh, here's your bar,
Get some scales out
yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Weigh people in.
Yeah.
We could do the bench press. We could have that wrapped up
Yeah,
in
it's-
45
right,
minutes.
for sure.
Then we could start the run. We already have our course.
Yeah, we
here.
got the course right out there
Yep.
that we
Yeah.
can
We do the run right afterwards. Then we can be eating breakfast.
By 10
by
a.m.,
yeah,
here we
that's-
are.
do a
not,
Saturday
not
day.
starting to run at 11.
Yeah, we just maybe if there's like a good breakfast food truck, maybe just get one out here.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about it.
I like
Yeah.
this.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's
We
go.
you need to just find the maybe
CFGB,
the organization
pump and run.
we could donate.
To
Hey, we can
donate,
make
yeah.
T-shirts.
Yep,
It's the thing.
Next thing, get on new T-shirts, pump and run shirts.
that's what we
I'm
do
sure
on the
that's a trade-
podcast
I'm
now.
sure
We
that's a
come up with
trademark
new events that we're doing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like
Alright.
that.
I like that one too. And yeah, figuring out a good, especially right now, a food bank or
Yeah, that'd be. I mean, it'd be a great time to do that. Yeah, that'd be really cool.
Okay.
Sweet.
All right.
We'll put it
We're
in
All
the
right.
books.
something.
All right, thanks, Sarah.
Yes.